modern society tells women, I'm sure you're aware of this, like toxic feminism tells women that you should never really do anything for the express pleasure of a man, or a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. And it's like, if you take that approach to attracting and retaining a top shelf man, he's not going to be interested in you over the long term. He's certainly going to replace you, or he's not going to take you seriously. He's not going to invite you into his life as a committed type of relationship, I think. So those would be the main things. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, absolutely, and I agree on all of this with you.
Yeah. Do you counsel couples? Do you counsel men? Do you counsel women? Like, who do you usually deal with when you're doing your counseling during the course of your day job?
Mainly women.
What do you find is the biggest hurdle or obstacle that women have when it comes to attracting, retaining relationships?
Let me think about it. Maybe the healthy communication, and also maintaining boundaries, because it's very common for people to, it's just something that we are bringing more awareness into it in the last years about boundaries. And it's something very important. People are not familiar with it. They suffer from their generational trauma where they were emotionally abused. Their caregivers didn't respect their boundaries, and they didn't respect them as separate individuals with their needs and their need for personal space, their emotional expression, their authenticity. And so they grow up like this and also don't respect the boundaries of other people. And this is also transferred into relationships, and relationships suffer from it very much.
So communication and boundaries.
Yes, and also perfectionism. That's really common because it brings a lot of anxiety, and then it's connected to depression. It's a vicious cycle between anxiety and depression.
Okay. All right. You also wanted to talk about hypergamy. What did you want to cover with that?
Well, there is often a focus on financial and social status, right? You say that women strive for getting a better man that will secure a better financial and social status for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do emotional and intellectual qualities play in this concept?
From her side or from his side?
From his side.
From his side.
Yes.
I'm not sure I understand the question. Can you rephrase it for me?
Yeah, sure. So she does. Okay, so it's from her perspective. She does she strive? Does a woman strive for a better emotional and intellectual connection with another better male, for example, or is just financial and social?
I mean, yeah, it's mostly financial, social standing and status is really important to women. I know that a lot of psychology tends to rely on like things like communication. They even sometimes lean into oddities like the love languages and stuff like that. But all that hypergamy is women's innate desire to want to survive, and survival of the fittest for millions of years meant that she would have to be very careful about selecting the guy that she would have children with, that she would ask for protection and provisioning from. Communication, emotional intelligence, your love language never came into that picture. None of that stuff matters with hypergamy. All that it means is that she's able to look at a man and say, I'm with a giant. Like, this is the best that I can do. Like, I'm counting my blessings that this guy's with me.
But in case she wants to level up, let's say this way, She lacks something. It's not always for financial or social status. Sometimes it's just incompatibility, but it's a cover up. Hypergamy could become a cover up for this. And
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. It's not always social, like economic status. I mean, a part of it. See, hypergamy is not a 2 or 3 piece puzzle. It's a large puzzle with many pieces, and it changes for a woman depending on how old she is, whether she's got children or not. It changes for a woman even in the month. Like in a woman's reproductive cycle, she goes through the ovulatory shift, and it's like there's times of the month where women prefer softer, more beta males, and there's times of the month when they're ovulating where they prefer high testosterone cues type of alpha males, right? So there's all these different pieces of the puzzle. So you can't say it's one or two things, but when it's distilled, from an evolutionary perspective, like from an evopsych perspective, from these angles, all that it really means is that a woman needs to be satisfied that she's with the best guy that she can get. That's all that it really sort of like boils down to for. Do you look at the man that you're with and think to yourself, I can do better, this guy's a loser? Because if you do, then you're going to exercise some options. You're going to start advertising yourself. You're going to, look for opportunities and ways to put yourself in rooms where you can find a higher value guy. That's why when I talk to guys, and I mentioned in my book in several places, it's incumbent upon men to become the absolute best version of themselves, not for women, for themselves, of course, to improve optionality and to improve their position in the world. But it as a byproduct allows them to access better women. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And as a byproduct of that, of course, like as a consequence, the women will stick around longer, right? Because if she looks at her man and thinks, I can't really replace this guy, like, how am I going to do better than this? Then she's not going to go anywhere. She's not going to be like, hey, babe, I want to go on a girls' trip for 2 weeks to Ibiza, with my friends for Becky's birthday. They just don't do stuff like that. You don't have to get into those conversations or arguments. She just wants to be with you, and she wants to spend more time with you. And you have to manage that aspect of the relationship as well, too. Like there's components of that, I think, that get out of whack, that guys spend too much time together. But that's all that it really means. I mean, like I said, it's a puzzle with many pieces.
So if I understand correctly, then hypergamy happens if they don't have a good, genuine connection, and she is not really committed to this guy. It sounds a bit primitive. I mean,
yeah, but aren't
why
we
is she? Yeah, sure.
We haven't evolved much, have we?
I don't know about it.
Men prioritize availability, and women prioritize the best that they can get, and it's always been that way for a long time. So it is very primitive. I mean, our sexual strategies are very, very primitive. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the Courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.